These guys are itching to go over here, aren't they? 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Polls close in at least, 6 states at 7:30. You've got 3 big ones closed in, including North Carolina and Ohio. Polling station there live. Is that Denver, Colorado? Indeed it is. Karl Rove, former White House Deputy Chief of Staff to President Bush. Joe Trippi, former campaign manager for Howard Dean, and both are Fox News contributors. And gentlemen, good day to both of you.
Good to be with you.
States to watch tonight are what?
3 purple states, Ohio, Florida, and North Carolina. If she takes Florida, the election is likely to be over. If he takes Florida, Ohio, and North Carolina, he's got a shot at it. But each one of those are going to be critical tonight. And then there's an unknown blue brick. He's got to take something out of the blue wall of the Democrats, the 18 states and District of Columbia that they've won in each of the last 6 elections. So whether it's Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, or Pennsylvania, at some time during the evening, if he's doing all right in North Carolina, Florida, and Ohio, we'll all start to worry about what is the blue brick.
Karl, you're saying Ohio, Florida, North Carolina,
right,
and then turn another state from
right,
blue to red.
Right.
Of those, what is the most likely? What's your guess?
My gut is Pennsylvania always, most of the time, Pennsylvania looks like it's the most likely. We came close in 2000 and 2004. Of those 4 states, we came closest in Wisconsin. Came within 5,500 votes in 2000 and about 11,000 votes in 2004. But times have changed, and his appeal is different, and it may be that Michigan or Pennsylvania is more likely.
Okay, Joe, your states to watch tonight.
I'd add New Hampshire and Pennsylvania to that. I mean, look, when you look at this, if she wins Pennsylvania and any one of the states that Karl's just pointed out, Florida or North Carolina, it's game over pretty early in the night. So I'm looking at, I agree with the states he put up there, but I would definitely be looking at New Hampshire too, because if Trump can win New Hampshire, that starts putting even that narrow electoral strategy of him getting to 270 with just, you know, one from Maine, one from Nebraska, that kind of a strategy puts it in play.
A quick pop quiz on early voting. What did you see that was significant?
The Hispanic turnout everywhere is
everywhere, or
pretty much everywhere is above, way up there.
The fact that Democrats didn't get the same margin out of Florida they got 4 years ago, that African-American turnout in early voting in North Carolina was down, and that the Democrats had a last weekend surge in Ohio that may have brought them, they were in a deep deficit.
Even with Cuyahoga County being down 22 to 30%?
Well, it may not be after this weekend. Yeah. On the early vote,
that's what the Secretary of State of Ohio said late yesterday. Well, so that would count the weekend.
I got to tell you, he may have been focused on the early vote as opposed to the early and the mail-in. If you add them together, it looks like those two, it's up 1% in the county.
I think Ohio,
early in-person voting, up on the absentee button.
Ohio may be in play. I mean, it could be. I mean, I would have given it to Trump. I mean, I think that's
maybe
where
in play for Clinton.
It may be in play for Clinton.
U.S. Senate. Does it come down to a race, or
I think it comes down to 2. The Republicans, I think, are poised to be at 49, but I think it's going to come down to North Carolina and New Hampshire as the most likely number 50 and number 51 for the Republicans.
Joe?
5th sign of the apocalypse. Me and Karl agree. It's those 2 states. It's going to be, I think, come down to New Hampshire and North Carolina to see what the balance of the Senate majority could be those 2 states.
If it's 50-50?
If it's 50-50, then the sitting vice president of whichever party presides over it, if it is Tim Kaine, he's elected vice president, he has to give up his seat. The governor, Terry McAuliffe, appoints somebody, and a special election is held next November to settle.
If she were to win with a 50-50 Senate, Tim Kaine being the deciding vote, how much does she get done in the first?
Well, there's a big difference. When we came in, we had a 50-50 Senate, and then we lost one Republican in June who defected to the Democrats and gave them control. So Dick Cheney was going to be fully occupied, presiding over the Senate and casting votes during ties. But if you've got 50 plus the vice president, you organize the Senate, and that means you have a majority on each committee, and that's helpful to the sitting president.
Joe, last word.
I agree again. I mean, look, I think that's what's going to be, the Senate balance here is really going to be critical, because regardless of who wins, the presidency, that's going to matter a lot. Who controls those committee chairmanships? Who decides what votes come forward? And right now, look, it could be a coin.
Well, it's been a story that's been overlooked, but
yeah, absolutely.
We will not tonight. Joe, thank you. Carl?
In full disclosure, I'm involved in a group that's just spent $180 million trying to influence the outcome of the Senate. So, full disclosure.
Can you match that?
No, I did not spend $180 million trying to.
See you guys tonight.